right, everyone, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, bringing you breaking Giant news. And, of course, that breaking Giant news is the Giants have sent a third-round pick, I believe it's the 100th overall, from the Kadarius Toney trade with the Kansas City Chiefs over to the Las Vegas Raiders for Darren Waller, the star tight end. There's a lot to like about this trade, and there's a lot to be apprehensive about this trade. Darren Waller, who had back in, I think it was 2020 and 2019, had some big seasons. Let's see, in 2020, he had over 1,196 yards. And I believe, how many touchdowns? 9 touchdowns. And I sorry to look around. 2019, he had over 1,145 yards. He hasn't been able to stay on the field since 2020. 2021, he had 55 receptions for 665 yards, played in 11 games. Last year, he did have 28 receptions for 388 yards, 13.9 yards a reception. Again, he had to deal with injuries. If he can stay healthy, and this is the big if, he's a big target. He's 6'6". He's a big tight end. He is a pass-catching tight end. He is the guy that you want to go with and be part of with Daniel Bellinger. That's the guy you want. You want a field stretcher. You want a guy that is going to take pressure not only off of Daniel Jones, but off of Saquon Barkley as well. It will take some pressure off that middle of the field. It will open it up for both, like I said, Barkley and Daniel Jones. He's due $11 million this year. So basically it's a 1-year deal for the Giants. If it flames out, you have lost a third-round pick on him, but if it flames out, it's a third-rounder that you receive from Kadarius Toney. If he hits, you got a tight end that you have not seen in a Giant uniform since Jeremy Shockey. I'm not going to say Bravaro because he is more of a Shockey tight end. Darren Waller, that is. So I'm not overly concerned about the third rounder going for Waller. I'm more concerned about the $11 million cap hit. I hope Shane understands that he has not been healthy since 2020. The elephant in the room that you need to talk about is his drug problems, and hopefully he has gotten past his substance abuse problems. He got suspended for the first 4 games in 2016. He got suspended for a full year in 2017. He was reinstated back in 18 after completing the rehabilitation program that the Giants have, that the league has. He was waived from the Ravens back in 19, and then he was signed back to the practice squad. He went over to the Raiders in 18 and 19. He was, if anyone remembers, he was featured in the one episode Hard Knocks, talking about his substance abuse issues. So while there's a lot to like about for this trade, there's a lot. We need to err on the side of caution. This is a guy who could potentially have off-field issues. This is a guy who has not been healthy since 2020. But when he is healthy, when he is right, he's special. He's a tight end the Giants could use. He's a tight end the Giants need. He is that field stretcher. He is going to, like I said, he's going to take all the pressure off Daniel Jones. He's going to take all the pressure off your wide receivers as well. He is going to open up that middle of the field. He's going to be dangerous. But the question is, they say the best ability is availability. Is he going to be on the field? Can he play 16 games? Can he play 15 games? Or is he going to play 11, or is he going to play 5? The Raiders are in a rebuild, and they are moving on from his contract. The Raiders just signed him. When did they sign him? They just signed him back in 2022, September 2022. 3 years, $51 million extension. He became the highest paid tight end in the league. Then he was placed on the injured reserve on November 10th and reactivated on the 17th. So if you take a look at his last 3 years, he's played in a total of 20 games. And before that, he played in 16 and 16. So the question is he going to have the availability the Giants need? Because one of the things the Giants do not need is to have an injury setback with a trade like this, because it's going to focus and affect what you do in the draft. It's going to affect a little bit, because now you may be leaning towards wide receiver, maybe not leaning towards wide receiver in the first round. Maybe you're leaning towards a safety. Maybe you're going to lean towards another linebacker. You're definitely not going to go tight end. So it's interesting. It's a good move. If it pays off, it is a good move for Shane. If it doesn't pay off, it's only costing you a third rounder and $11 million of your cap space. Hopefully Shane won't try to renegotiate right now to save on the cap space, only because of the fact, like I said, we don't know yet. Let's get a body of work for Darren Waller with the Giants. Let's see what he can do with the Giants first before we give him another payday, before we make him the highest paid tight end again. Let's not John Beeson it. John Beeson, former linebacker, came over from the Panthers years ago, had an injury history towards a career, great linebacker, had an injury history at the end of his career with the Panthers, came to the Giants in a trade, was phenomenal for like 6-7 games. Giants signed him to a contract. He got hurt the same year. He got hurt the next year. So let's err on the side of caution. Let's welcome Darren to the New York Football Giants. And again, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, and I'm out of here.